Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy and this is Happiness Created. Today's video is so special. It's part of the Crafting for a Cause playlist hosted by Theresa at Theresa B DIY, and I am the co-host this month. We are trying to raise awareness and maybe some funds for the Easter Seals Autism Services. Now, this cause is very near and dear to my heart because my youngest son, Justin, was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. The Easter Seals worked with him during his early intervention at our home, and later he went on to the developmental preschool in our city. Because of all of the help they gave Justin and our family, along with the fact that he was diagnosed so young, he has come so far, and he graduated high school in 2019, and I could not be prouder of him. Sorry. So this is a little bit of what the Easter Seals Autism Services offers, and this is the page where you can make a donation if you choose to. I will have all of that information along with the link for Theresa's channel and the playlist in my description box down below. With all that being said, and with me gaining my composure, let's start with DIY number 1. So for this first project, I found this heart with some puzzle pieces in the center and these paintbrushes. I got them both from Amazon. I will have them in my storefront. The link will be in the description box down below. So I'm using some of this Waverly chalk paint. I did not end up using the moss, but I did use the crimson and the ocean, and then this apple barrel bright white and the Waverly antique wax. And I'm going over the back and the edge of the front of the heart. Now I'm going to put that aside, and I am going to start taking this puzzle apart. Now, as I realized later on, most of these pieces are the same size except for the outer parts, so I really didn't have to do this. But anyway, so I started with the apple barrel bright white and then did the ocean, and I left this part in here to show you the moss. It just wasn't bright enough. I wanted a brighter green. So I had this folk art bright green. So I decided to use that instead. Now, once everything was dry, or mostly dry, I started assembling this puzzle, and I was hoping that because of the way I had everything laid out, I would have an easier time, like assembling it so that there weren't a bunch of the same color, if you get what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm explaining it good, but anyway, so I did have to arrange a few pieces, but overall I did okay. So I didn't know how else to get it in here, so I just kind of slid it into the heart frame, and then I just took a bunch of hot glue and glued the pieces into place, and then I shook the frame just to make sure none of the puzzle pieces came out. Then I cut out my baby's name with the cricket, and I just added that to the front of the heart. Then I'm taking this little piece of yarn that I had from another project I was doing, and I just made a loop to hang it in the back. And that's it for this one. How stinking adorable is this? I love this project. Let me know what you guys think. Now on to DIY number 2. I have this cutting board that was sent to me by Plaid. I am a Plaid ambassador, and I'm just taking off the label. And then I made this color with some crimson plaster, and I believe it was carousel pink. I kind of mixed it all together to make this pink color. Then I'm taking the moss and the celery chalk paints from Waverly and going around the edge of the cutting board. And then I did some dry brushing with the plaster Waverly chalk paint. Now I'm just showing you this. I was on the struggle bus with this. I could not get it on the transfer tape to save my life. It took forever. So it's not always easy. And anybody with a Cricut or another cutting machine knows that very well. So now that I have it on the transfer tape, I'm just lining it up, and then I am just going to transfer it onto the cutting board. Now I'm taking the plaster, because I didn't do the back of the cutting board and then decided I probably should. So I'm just doing a dry brush on that, and then I go over the edge of the cutting board as well. And then I take some of the jute twine that I also got from Amazon. That will be in my storefront as well. And I just make a loop around the bottom of the cutting board just one time. And then I take that same twine and I'm going to go around the handle of the cutting board, and I do that 3 times. So I thought I was done, but then I decided to take a black Sharpie and go over the front of the cutting board and just put some seeds on. And that's it. Look at how stinking adorable this is. I love this piece so much. I think it's so fun for summer. Let me know what you think. I wanted to let you guys know that I am on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest as well. I will have the links to all of those pages in my description box down below. Now let's get into DIY number 3. I'm taking one of these pictures with the foam flowers on them, and I started out, I was going to try to take the flowers apart, and it wasn't working for me. So I ended up just taking the backing out and tearing off the paper. Then I found this print on Creative Fabrica. Guys, if you haven't been on there yet, you need to. They have everything. It's amazing. So I'm just taking this paper and I'm going to hot glue it right to the back of this the backing for the picture. You know what I mean. Then I just trim the edges off and I put it right back into the frame. Then I have this little watermelon with a little bite taken out of it, so I just cut that out as well. And then I have this bag of letters from Amazon. They'll be in my storefront, and I'm just picking through, pulling all of the letters that I need out, and I'm just going to use that same pink, and I am painting some of the letters with that and some of them with the Waverly moss chalk paint. Once everything is painted and dry, I'm just going to hot glue them to the back of the sign, the front of the sign, to the backing of the sign. Then I just take the little watermelon with the bite taken out of it, and I hot glue that right to the back as well. And that's it. It's so simple, but I think it's so cute. I really, really like this. I think it's great for summer as well. Let me know what you think. And now to DIY number 4. So I'm taking this charger that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I put a bunch of different colors together to make these 2 greens. So I'm just going around the perimeter with 2 different shades of green, and then I use some white, and then I have this coral color that I also used. Then I found this print on a Google search, and I just cut it out, and I am using the dreadful Mod Podge. So I did end up getting some bubbles. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually, I guess. But I only had the satin, so I went around the entire charger with it. And then I took some plaster, chalk paint, and a chippy brush from the Dollar Tree and did a dry brushing. Now, looking back, probably wouldn't have done that, but you know, at the time it sounded good. So then I'm taking this mesh ribbon from the Dollar Tree and then a thinner green ribbon that does not have any wire in it. And I just looped it on itself like 3 times. I did my best to make a bow out of this mess. And I mean, it came out pretty good, I think, in the end. But I would suggest finding a ribbon with a wire next time. So if you're going to do that, get a wired ribbon. Then I just took a little piece of that green wire and wrapped it around the center to hide the jute that I used to tie it. Then I hot glued the ends to the charger itself and fluffed the bow. And how stinking cute did this come out, guys? I think it's adorable. Let me know what you guys think. I would like to remind you all that the link for the Easter seals will be in my description box down below, as well as Theresa's channel and the playlist. I want to thank Theresa for asking me to co-host this month. It really means a lot to me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a great big thumbs up for me. It really helps me out. If you're new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. I hope you'll consider sticking around and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a brand new video. And share with your family and friends. And I will see you next time.